නෑ අර පස්සද්ධිය වගේ ගතියක් භාවනා කරනකොට ආවම ඒක කොයි මම හිතන්නේ කොයි විදිහින් වැටෙන්න පුළුවන් වගේ ඒවට රැවටෙනවා. ඊට පස්සේ
මම කිව්වේ මොකද?
ඔව් ඊට පස්සේ අර ඊළඟ පදන අර සමාධි උපස්සදිත රැවටුණොත් ඒ සමාධියට එන්න විදියක් නෑ.
ඔව්. ඒක ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කිව්වම
so this is Lokamdu while talking with one yogi, he mentioned that in the practice you get this passaddhi. It can happen in few different ways, but when that level comes up, some phenomena that happens because of the passaddhi in the practice, the yogis, they get kind of tricked by that, and if that happens, they cannot continue to the next step of the practice, which is the samadhi. So the samadhi is prevented by the yogi getting tricked by the passaddhi.
I think maybe Alexander Abraham උදේ සාකච්ඡාවක් නෙමෙයි භාවනා කියන්නේ කියලා.
So this is Lokamdu, I can mention it. So when Alexandra was talking about her meditation with Lokamudru, this topic came up. So because now Alexandra was also asking, so Lokamdu is going to explain about that some more.
බතද්දියට පැවතෙන එක මම කියා දුන්නා.
So Lokam mentioned that how this getting confused or tricked by the passaddhi can happen. Passaddhi translated usually as tranquility or calmness or peacefulness.
ආලෝකෝ පීති පස්සද්දි.
So there are these three things. The three things that you can get kind of deceived and confused is light and shapes, forms, and rapture or strong joy, and then tranquility. These three things are the things that can happen in the practice and can kind of trick you or kind of get you out of the practice.
හරියටම ඒවා මෙනෙහි කළොත් ඒවා නැති කරගන්න පුළුවන්. වැරදියට යන්තම් හරි ආසාවක් තිබ්බොත් ඉතින් මෙනෙහි කළේ නැත්තම් හරි අමාරුයි අයින් කරන්න.
So they can kind of derail the practice. So the thing is, if this phenomena occur and the yogi very properly knows them, then there is no issue with that, and then the practice just progresses in the way it should. But very often there is some liking or thinking, oh, this is something good, and if these things happen, then that is the place where what Lokam calls like confusion or getting tricked by those phenomena is. And if that happens, then correcting it is quite difficult.
හොඳට භාවනා කරන්නට තමයි ඔය උපක්ලේශ එන්නේ.
So these are called upakilesa, or the defilements or corruptions of the meditation practice, and they happen really to people that are good practitioners.
So දැන් උපක්ලේශ නිකන් ඔය නිවන්නට වැඩි අමාරුයි අයින් කරන්න.
So actually they are more difficult to tackle than the hindrances.
ඔය ඉතින් ඒවට රැවටිලා ඒවා බලනවා ප්‍රීතියට රැවටිලා ඉන්නේ.
Because with the hindrances is probably not going to happen when you get rapture or this strong joy arising. People just kind of enjoy it or look for it in the practice, or the tranquility phenomena likewise, or some lights and like sights that can come up in the practice, visions. People might have liking and starting looking for them.
වැඩක් මෙනෙහි කරන්න කිව්වම වැඩක් නැහැ මෙනෙහි කරන්න කිව්වා අපි එක තරහ වෙනවා.
Also, if you tell the yogis to note it properly and just let it go, just note it in the normal way as you note other things, the yogis kind of are disgruntled and get kind of angry with the teacher.
ඔව්. ඉතින් ඒවා තිබුණාන් පස්සේ ඒක රැවටිලා එනකොට ඉතින් අර උපක්ලේශ අයින් වෙන්නේ උපක්ලේශ සුදම ජීවත් වෙනවා.
But if you let it be there and it's kind of like puts down the root. I don't know what's the proper English for that. Something like it, if it gets somewhat established within the practice, then the yogi basically switches to practice which is just within the upakilesa, and then the whole practice just becomes the practice that is kind of developing or staying in the defilement level and does not progress any further. And when that happens, that is extremely difficult to remove or correct.
අවුරුදු ගණන් ඉන්නවා යෝගියෝ. ඒලාගේ ජීවිතේම
Some yogis might stay at that level for a number of years. Some of them even until the death they stay there.
භයානකම ඒක අරගත්තේ නැති වුණාම උපක්ලේශේ ඉඳලා මේ උපක්ලේශ වලින් අපාය නම් යන්නේ නිවන් මාර්ග වෙනස් වෙන්නේ කිව්වද?
So even though it said it's dangerous, so it is dangerous because the path to Nibbana, that what you were walking on, is now prevented by those. There is no danger of these defilements of meditation to take you to some like lower realm. That is not there, but they prevent your path to Nibbana.
දැන් මේ කාලේ ඇදලා ඒක කියන්නත් හොඳ නැහැ බයයි. එනාන්නේ එන්ජොයි එකේම මම ඉන්නම්කො නැරනාසම් කියලා හින්දි. එන්ජොයි එකේම මම ප්‍රීතියෙන් සත්‍යයෙන් ඉන්නම්කො කියලා එහෙම හිතයි. වැඩන්නේ එහෙම ලෝකෙ මේ දවස්වල මේ කාලේ යෝගි භාවනා කරන්නේ අනේ මට ඒ කාලේ හොඳයි මම ඒකෙන්
So these days actually I think what Lokang was trying to say, these days many yogis actually kind of expectations out of the practice is that thing. So they want to get to the level where they have these visions or lights and probably also like gladness and like rapture, just blissing out and being very peaceful and tranquil and like floating. So if they get that, they are very happy, and if they could get it, and until they die, they are very satisfied. So if Rokuhamlu or another person gets to tell them like, don't stay with that, like there is something more, they really are not interested.
කාය පස්සද්ධි චිත්ත පස්සද්ධි කියලා දෙකක් තියෙනවා.
So then if we consider the passaddhi or so-called tranquility, there are two kinds of passaddhi explained in the scriptures: kaya passaddhi and chitta passaddhi. That's the so-called bodily tranquility and mind tranquility.
කාය පස්සද්ධිය මේ කයි හැල්ලු බව.
So in the body, it is this lightness in the body.
කාය පස්සද්ධිය ඇරලා උපක්ලේශ නැතුව පස්සද්ධියක් එනවා. උපක්ලේශ වලට එන පස්සද්ධිය වෙනම එකක්. මේ පස්සද්ධිය උපක්ලේශ පස්සද්ධිය ඇරලා යෝගියට පස්සද්ධියක් එනවා.
So this passaddhi is a phenomenon that arises in different places in the practice. So we have the passaddhi or tranquility as one of the meditation corruptions of meditation, but the yogi gets different levels of tranquility experiences also in other parts of the practice.
උපක්ලේශ පස්සද්ධිය මෙන්න ඒකලට යන්නේ නැහැ.
So comes is this tranquility, that is a corruption of meditation practice. Even if you note it, it just won't leave you.
ඒකේ ආසාවක් තියෙනවා.
Because there is a kind of liking for that in the mind.
ඒ නිසා තමයි ඒකෙන් බේරෙන්න බැරි.
So, and because of that, one does not manage to get out of it or avoid it.
ඒ උපස්ලේ නැතු වෙන පස්සද්ධිය මෙන්න කරපු ඇති ඇරෙනවා.
And so the other kind of tranquility that is not within the corruption of meditation, if you note it, it just like it's noted as another phenomenon and that's it. So you don't, it disappears, it does not stay and so on. That's not, so the upakilesa, the corruption of meditation practice, tranquility is the kind that even if you note it, it tends to stay there.
ඒකවල මේ පස්සද්ධිය වර්ග දෙකයි නිවනේ. කාය පස්සද්ධිය, චිත්ත පස්සද්ධිය. දෙකම එකට එනොත් එහෙම උපක්ලේශ වශයෙන් ඇවිල්ලා හරිම අමාරුයි ඒ යෝගියම හරි මාර්ගයට ගන්නවා.
So if either the bodily or mental tranquility as a corruption of practice happens, and the yogi gets caught by that, it takes a lot of effort to get the yogi out of it. It can take a quite long time.
ඒකයි මේ ගුරුවරයෙක් නැතුව භාවනා කරන එකේ තියෙන අමාරුව ඒකයි.
So that's why it said that practicing without a teacher is the difficulty.
දැන් ගන්න හිතනවා ගුරුවරයෙක් නැතුව භාවනා කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා.
So many people actually think they can do meditation without teachers.
ඒ බුදුහන්සේ කාලේට දාන්න ඕන නැහැ අපි අපේ මනස.
Some of them they refer to the scriptures, like Lokam basically referring to that. But Lokam says we are not in the Buddha's time, so it's not good to like apply those things to us.
ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ මේ ඉන්දිය ධර්මයන් අපිට වැඩි මේ මෝරලා තිබිච්ච අය.
Because most people mentioned there from the Buddha's times are people whose faculties were much more mature in comparison with our spiritual faculties.
අපිට ඉතින් ඉන්දිය ධර්ම මේ මෝරනවා ඒක අපි ගුරුවරයාත් එක්ක තමයි ඒ ගානට බැලන්ස් කරලා මෝරන්න අරින්න ඕනේ.
But in our case, it is with the help of a teacher that we try to develop or like mature our spiritual faculties.
ඔය නේද මම ඇලෙක්සැන්ඩර් පස්සද්ධිය මෙනෙහි කරලා අයින් කරගන්න ඕනේ.
So because of that, I am again telling Alexandra, if that these things comes, just note them and send them away.
පස්සද්ධියට වැඩි උගා මොදර්නුයි මේ අදිමොක්කය.
So much more dangerous or nasty one that is out of these corruptions is called adimokka, which is something like strong faith.
කොහොමද ධම්මරාජ්‍යයේ අදිමොක්කය කියන්නේ ශ්‍රද්ධාවනේ.
ශ්‍රද්ධාවයි මේ අනිත්‍යයි කියන සමබරව පවත්වන ධර්මය.
So sometimes they call them, they are like manager of the other mental factors.
ඔය ඉතින් ඒක උගා අදිමොක්කය ආවයන් පස්සේ බොහොම මේ
අනේ ඒ මධ්‍යස්ථ පවත්වන තත්ත්ව මධ්‍යස්ථතාව.
ඔව්.
අදිමොක්කය කියන්නේ ශ්‍රද්ධාව වගේ ස්වභාවයක්.
මේක දාවයන් පස්සේ අදිමොක්කය දාවයන් පස්සේ හරිම අමාරුයි මේ ගලව ගන්න එයාට මේ ශ්‍රද්ධාව වගේ ඉතින් මේ
This is very similar to saddha, faith or confidence. And if it comes, it is extremely difficult to do something about the yoga.
කොහොමද ඉතින් ගුරුවරුන් අහන්න කියන එක අහන්නේ නැහැ.
Because of the faith and confidence, they have tendency of not listening to the teacher now.
ඔය ටික දාලා යනකොට ඇරෙනවා ඒක.
But okay, it's possible that in few days that it is manageable.
ඒ කියන්නේ භාවනා නොකර ඉතින්
And that is if the person stops meditating.
භාවනා කරනවා නම් ඉතින් ගුරුවරයාත් එක්කලා ගුරුවරයාට වැඩි දන්න විදිය තමයි එයා හිතන්නේ.
So if the meditator has gotten this one and is practicing with a teacher, at this point the yogi will feel like he knows and understands and has better like approach to the Dhamma than the teacher.
නීවරණයන් වැඩ කරන්නේ නැතුව නිකන් අහංකාරකමක් වගේ ධම්මේ දන්නවා වගේ භාවනාව.
Because at that point the hindrances are really not visible, they are kind of suppressed, not working temporarily, and it's a kind of a specific concept of not having the hindrances. And then what one upmanship I think is called in English, it's like you feel you are the one that knows and like understands everything, so then even the teacher becomes like a secondary person.
ඉතින් ගුරුවරයා දන්නවා ඒකට මේ අධිමෝක්ෂයට එනකොට.
So the teacher usually can actually recognize the signs that now this yogi is about to get into this corruption.
ඉතින් ගුරුවරයාගේ මේ විදිය තමයි හොඳ ගුරුවරයෙක් එයාව ගණන් ගන්න බොන්දුවකටවත් ගණන් ගන්න.
So if I understand correctly, then if the teacher is skillful and able, he seems to like not care at all or recognize at all what the student is saying.
මෙතනගේ මනස
Don't work.
Huh?
Don't work.
That's what I said.
Not student say. You said what the student saying is not the correct.
මෙයාට තැනක් දීලා කතා කළොත් හදන්නම බෑ.
Yeah.
එතකොට එයා ඒ අධිමෝක්ෂයටම
So
රැවටෙනවා.
that's basically the student is getting also the treatment, because if the teacher gives something, so then it's impossible to make anything about the practice.
ඔය භාවනා කරන්නට අමාරුයි අධිමෝක්ෂය ඊළඟ පග්ගහ සුඛය ඥානය කියනවා ඒවා අමාරුයි ඒවෙන් ගලව ගන්න.
So there is like altogether 10 of these defilements of the inside practice, and the first 3 are the mentioned lights and forms and rapture, joy and tranquility. But Lokam says the next ones are actually even more difficult and nasty, and that is this something like faith and something like energy and something like understanding and something like mindfulness.
ඔව් ඒකත් ඒකත් හරි අමාරු එකක්.
So these guys, they are the very difficult ones.
ඔය මොඳට භාවනා කරන්නට ඒවා නිකන් උපක්ලේශ මට්ටමේ තදේටම හිටිනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඉතින් භාවනා ගුරුවරු වෙනවා. ඒකත් ඉවරයි දෙන්නේ.
So then some yogis, they are kind of strong meditators, but also strongly within the some or one or some of these meditation defilements. And on top of that, after some time, these same people become meditation teachers, and that's the end.
Yeah, body suitcase සැපේට නිබ්බානය කිකෙටින් උගන්වනවා. ඉතින් ඒවා ඉගෙනගෙන අපි ළඟට එනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ව පිළිසිදු කරන්න රොන්ඩරි දාන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් අපිට රොන්ඩරි දාමදම ඉන්න වෙලාවක් නැහැ. මම නම් කම්මැලි කරන්නේත් නැහැ.
So another one I forgot to mention, one of the extremely difficult one is like happiness, bliss or comfort was one of it. So anyway, so comes as when these teachers that actually got caught themselves in at the Upakilaisa level and become teachers, then they teach to their students that like something which is actually just small level of comfort or kind of bliss as already nibbana and things like that. So when people like that come to Lokohamudro, he says it's like you need to put them through a thorough wash, like do a big washing, and then you can only start they can start practicing properly. But this takes a lot of time and they don't feel like getting through that. So Lokohamudro as a result very often is disinclined to do that and is not doing it.
ඒගොල්ලන්ට භාවනා කියලා දෙන්න ගියාම කාලේ නිකන් නාස්තියක් විතර.
If you go to give people like that instruction, it's a big waste of time.
ඔව්. ඉතින් ඊට වැඩි හොඳයි මේ නිකන් ඔය මොනවද කතා කරලා ඉන්නේ.
Meaning, I think what was meant was like even if sometimes it might work out, but it will take a lot of talking and a lot of time, so that's why it's kind of wasteful. So Kamu says, if you spend that time talking about Dhamma, something sensible, it is a better way to spend that time talking.
ඔව් ඉතින් ධ්‍යාන කියලා රැවටෙනවා. නිවන කියලා රවට්ටල රැවටිලා නෙමෙයි. රවට්ටෙන්නේ හරි අමාරුයි නේ.
They have been called
දැන් අපි ආරණ්‍ය වල නෙමෙයි ඉන්නේ. ඒක තමයි මෙතන අපිට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ. ඉතින් අපි ඉන්නවනම් ලොකු ඕම කැලෑවල ගල්ලින් වල නයි පොළොංගු වල යන මම භාවනා නොදන්නෝන දැනගන්න ඕන නැහැ කියන එක අහනවා. ඈ ඒක රෝන් සයිඩ් ම තමයි. අන්තිම වෙලෙ වෙන්නේ තේරුණාද?
නෑ මගේ දැන් ඔලු වැඩි කරන්නේ කොටසක් අමතක වෙලා.
ආපහු කියන්න. Then
I don't know. Okay, I came. So sorry because Lokamus, I forgot part and then I forgot everything. So we will do it again. So
භාවනා කියලා දෙන්න කම්මැලි මන්න.
So Lokamus is kind of lazy to teach the meditation to people like that.
මොකද අපිට වැඩි ඒගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා.
Because they know more than us. I remember. So they have these ideas that some things that they have had are jhanas or nibbana, or they have ideas you have to have jhanas or not have jhanas, and nibbana is like that and that. So this is the extremely difficult part.
ඔව් අර ඒ ධ්‍යානයක් තියෙනවා කියලා උගන්වන්නේ. නිබ්බානේ මාර්ග ඥාන උගන්වලා ඵල ඥාන උගන්වලා ඵලයට සමාධි නැති උගන්වලා මාර්ග ඥානෙට
they have been already taught what are the jhanas, how to get them, how to get out of them, and what is the path knowledge, how to get to the path knowledge, what is the fruition, how to get into the fruition and things like that. So they already know everything, so how can you teach them anything? So that Lokan also mentioned, although our place is not a jungle monastery full of different like dangerous creatures, so we are not taken that much seriously either.
ඔව් දැන් මම එහෙම හිටියා. ඒකෝට දැන් භාවනා ගැන එච්චරම දන්නේ නැහැ. ඒවා කියනවා ඉතින් මේක වැඩි හොඳට මිනිස්සු අහනවා. දැන් මෙච්චර දන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි ඉතින් මේ එතන ගහනවා ඉතින් මම විශ්වාස ගන්න කැලෑවනේ. ඒකෙන් තමයි ඉගෙන ගත්තේ.
So those days when Lokan was younger, he spent a lot of time actually in like jungle monasteries and like that. So those days actually he had much, his knowledge about practice was not so deep, but then he got into this talks about these things, so that's why he knows about it. Like he knows how these people they have done. Then say that the forest monks are the genuine and they know and so.
මම ඒගොල්ලන්ට නිවන්න නැති කරගන්න ඇති කියනවා. මම ඉතින් නිවන්න වලට බය ඉන්නවා.
So some people they teach how to like remove or manage the hindrances. But Lokam says, I myself, when I was staying in the jungles, I was afraid of the kind of in fear of the hindrances, or they were like the danger for me.
Oh, sitting there to buy a cage.
So at night I was afraid that maybe an elephant might come,
Oh, when I came,
or a bear.
like I'm buying in
So then I was staying in fear.
sitting there then.
So then this is kind of useless.
I'm buying the gun, buy a medical gun, the car.
So, but there is a way, if you are in fear, how to overcome that fear. That is kind of something like So, and those days people, because he was a forest monk, came to ask him how to remove their own fear, but he was somebody that was afraid at night.
Sitting there, the Kali Kaila, who mean Yatali Galolani Petra, home Wali, sitting Ayo, Mayanita, Tan, Makipia, every in a camera, sitting Karan,
So one night an elephant came and this kind of damaged the roof. So then Lokam and another monk were in that kuti, so they had to kind of with difficulty wait until the morning.
So a Gamate and the Gamagate and the Ganga, they can go to win that one. Ganga? Tino. Taking a better end, eating our better end. What to the Pidira.
So one time they needed to go somewhere and came to a river, and like the only way how to get to where they were going was crossing the river, but at that point the river was flooding.
In the one they got to not give the other whole lot to us, and the eight was they are in it. The whole lot to give the letter. He had a reason. It is payment, it is negative light.
So is he talking about this third book? So if I understood correctly, so anyway, so there were some like coconut branches instead of the roof or something, and they managed to stay there until the river stopped flooding and they could get the repair people.
Then we were not the only one.
So then at that point I could understand the hindrances quite well. There was nobody to get angry with. So if it were a human, you would get angry.
Oh,
So then this elephant probably also was hungry.
Mata.
Okay, so I need no ears because I'm hearing some strange things. So sorry, correction. So it was not the elephant. Lokamdu did not have food because of the situation. No, I understand this, but I don't understand how it came to the story of going to the north. And so probably there was this like a cave kuti, so they thought maybe they stayed there, but when they got to the cave kuti, there were these like something like hornets. So because there are something like hornets, they use the cracks in the stones for their nests, so there was a like hornet nest.
අපි අමාරුයි ඈ.
So then they got stung by, or some of Lopamudu or the other monk, somebody got stung by the hornet.
මේ අතත් ඉදිමිලා කැක්කුමයි හරි අමාරු. මට වැඩි මරාන්ද.
So the other monk was senior to Lopamudu, so he got stung in his arm and some maybe other places, and it was very painful.
ඒ ආන්දත් ඒමතුමාට මේ කියන්නෙත් නෑ මොකුත් නෑ. හිතන්නත් ඔය ඉන්න පුළුවන්.
But the monk did not say anything, complain anything, and somehow he was able to stay there.
මට ඉතින් මේ වන්න එන්න වැඩි.
So then, in my case, the hindrances were really getting like a lot.
ඉතින් කාමච්ඡන්දෙත් වැඩි හොඳ තැනක් හොයන්න.
The sensual desire, because I really wanted to find some nicer place.
මොකද මේ ඉන්නේ කියලා ව්‍යාපාරය.
Then anger, what is this kind of, why are we staying in this place and so on, that was the anger.
භාවනා කරන්න ඉතින්නේ තීන මේටි.
I was having no thoughts of practicing, that was the sloth and purpose.
ඉතින් කාමච්ඡන්ද ව්‍යාපාර තීන මේටි. ඔය තීන උද්දත උකුති උගා වැඩන්නේ අර ඉතේ time.
So then he just was basically sitting or staying, thinking about this and that. So that means also restlessness was there. So then kind of also doubts were arising. Did I ordain to be in this way or not?
In that Papa Gila, it's an hour. Tama Gina, it was it. She's standing out the back. I want the back.
Oh,
what to the center? Get the hour.
oh,
And I did see the hour. It was Mam Palata, Yanda, it was negate me.
ah. So it took 5-6 days and still the water was high. And then anyway, so I think the story was like they wanted to leave, but because of the flooding the river, there was no way how to leave the place. So and it was like more than 5 days. Even after 5 days, the water was still very high. So in the end, they managed, or Lopamudu managed to leave the place. But after this experience, he has never gone to that place and even to that area because of that.
එතකොට මම හත යනකොට ගොඩ වෙලා ගමේ මිනිස්සු එනවා මේ අපිව එක්කගෙන යන්න.
So when they managed to finally get out of the place, also the villagers were traveling with them.
යා ලොකෝන්ද එතන හිටියා මං ආවා. ඊට පස්සේ හොඳට ඇදුවා එතන. ඒ ආරන්නේ
I'm really getting lost all the time. Can you please translate?
Okay, now it's
Because I am confused about who is doing what and where.
I will it's not clear.
මං ආයෙ කියන්න දන්නවා.
ඕන මට අර වැඩිම
දැන් මොන නම
කවුද කොහෙද?
දැන් මං ගමට එන්න ආවා ඈ.
ඔව්.
ගමට එන්න ඇවිල්ලා ඉතින් වතුර මෙතෙන්ට
ඔව්.
ඉතින් ඊගොඩ වුණා.
ඔව්.
එහා පැත්තට ගියා.
So he came to the river and still the water was up to Lopamudu's waist, but he managed to like wade across the stream and got on the other side, and there were some villages already.
හරි පොඩයි වතුර වතුර.
And then the water, it was probably still flooding, so like it was really difficult to get through that stream.
ඔව් ඉතින් කොහමද යකට මිනිස්සු එනවා මේ ගමේ ගොඩේ මිනිස්සු එනවා අපිව එක්කගෙන යන්න.
So the people from the village that were on the other side, they came to get Lopamudu and probably the other monks if they were coming and like help, like go to the other village.
ඉතින් මං කිව්වා ලොකෝහන්ද එන්නේ නැහැ කිව්වා. මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ යන්න මම මේ අපව එන්නම් කිව්වා. අපව මේ දිගට මම කිව්වා ඒ මිනිස්සුන්ට ආරන්නට යන්න කියලා. ලොකු ආණ්ඩුව බලන්න. ලොකු ආණ්ඩුව ආවේ නැහැ නතර වුණා.
Oh,
ඒ මිනිසුන් ටිකෝ යන්න කියලා.
Yandako.
යන්න කියන්නේ කන්නේ කොට නායක ලොකු ආණ්ඩුව බලන්න.
So he told them to go to see the chief monk.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So Lokam told the village people that the chief monk did not come and they should go and check on him.
ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලෝ ගිහිල්ලා අර කුට්ටියක් හදා දීලා දානෙ දීලා ඊට පස්සේ ආනන්ට මේ හිටිය ආන්දගේ ආරන්නේ නතර කරගෙන ආරන්නේ හොඳට හදලා ඉතුවා.
So then this senior monk, so the people came, got to the monastery, and they brought some food for the monk, the senior monk, and repaired the kuti. And this monk actually then stayed there a long time, and he became like a chief monk there, and they repaired and renovated and developed the place quite nicely later on.
ඉතින් බලන්නකෝ ඉතින් මතේ මේ බුද්ධත්ව කුච්ච විචිකිච්ඡාපමවා මේ ඒවා ගොඩක් වැඩි.
But anyway, so the while Lokams mentioned this story was how he was living in the jungle, and all his hindrances were like getting more and more.
ඉතින් දිවියෙක් ඉන්නවද කියලා දන්නේ හිතෙනවා.
So because he was in doubt whether maybe some leopards might be there or not.
ඒ වගේ දේවල් නේ.
So things like that.
මම නම් හිතන්නේ මේ ලොකෝට චිත්ත සමාධිය ඇති කරගන්න පුළුවන් කියලා චිත්ත සමාධිය හදාගෙන කෙනෙකුට හොඳයි.
So Lokam does not think that somebody that has not previous practice can go to jungle setting like that and get like a peaceful, settled mind. Somebody that has practiced previously and already prepared the mind, trained himself or herself, and then goes to such environments, then it's possible.
නීවරණ ටික තදාංග වශයෙන්වත් යට කරගෙන තියෙන්න
So the hindrances need to be suppressed, or this temporary suppression of hindrances needs to be.
උපක්‍රේසවත් යටපත් කරගෙන තියෙන්න ඕන. ඔයගේ උපක්‍රේස යටපත් කරගෙන තියෙන්න ඕන.
And also if these corruptions of practice arise, they need to be also suppressed.
මේ උලමක් ගන්නකොට ඉන්න බෑ හිතෙනවා ඒක යකෙක් වගේ. උලම කියලා කුරුල්ලෙක් ඉන්නවා. මේ බෙල්ල මෙහෙම පල්ලෙහාට දාන කෑ ගන්නවා. ඒතකොට මේවා නේගවල ඉඳි වැටිලා යනවා.
So in Sri Lanka this is kind of famous phenomena, is the devil bird. They call it devil bird, and even the biologists, they cannot pinpoint. They have actually like 3 or 4 different kinds of birds that make completely terrible sounds. So one of them, it's like completely like fear, like terrifying noise. So Lokam says if you hear that and you are in the jungle, it's like your blood curdles because of that sound.
නීවරණ සංයෝජන නිකන් එළියට එනවා.
So when that happens, very automatically all your hindrances and fetters come up to the surface.
දරුණු ඉන්නවා මේ ඇඟිලි දෙකක් විතර මහතයි දිග මෙච්චර දිග එනකොට සද්ද එනවා vibration එකක් එනවා.
And there are these centipedes which these ones are actually very poisonous, and they are kind of dark brown or red or black color. And these were so big, so the body is white as 2 fingers, and they are more than 1 foot long. And because they are so big, when they are coming, they are producing kind of vibrations.
කොහොමද යන්නේ කියලා කැලේ නායකයන්ගේ මේ vibration මේව ගන්න හැරලා බලන්න කිව්වා. දරුණු කිව්වා එතනින් යන්න කිව්වා. නැගිටලා ඉතින් මම හැරලා බලපුවාම ඇත්තට ලොකු ගරුණෙක් එනවා. මම නැගිටලා ගියා. ගිහිල්ලා කැපුලාරුවෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඒ මිනිහට කිව්වා මෙහෙම ගම්ලෙක් ආවා. මේ රින්ග ගත්තා. ආන්දු කරුණාන්ට බයිද කියලා ඒ මිනිහා මාට නිකන් බැන්නා. ඒ මිනිහා අරන්නවා කියන්න පටන් ගත්තා. කැලේ කොහමද ඉන්නේ? ගරුණෙකුටත් බය වෙලා කියලා.
So if I understand correctly, so some monk that was knowledgeable about this.
Oh.
Okay. So Loko Hamdu's teacher told Loko Hamdu, if you hear this kind of vibration, kind of open your eyes and check it because it is probably this centipede sound. So then you should like be careful and manage. So. When he was there in the jungle, this happened. So Loko Hamudru opened his eyes, went to the source of the sound and saw it was a really big one. So then he went to the monastery helper and told him, listen, in that place there is this big poisonous centipede. And if I understood correctly, this helper was kind of okay, he probably went about removing it, but as he was going, he was just muttering to himself, oh, what is this monk? How can he hope to live in forest if he is afraid of these centipedes?
ඉතින් මට වෙන්නේ යන්න දියාගොන්නේ ආපහු ඒකටම ගියා. ඉතින් ගන්නට වෙච්ච දෙයක් ගන්න ඉතින් යන්නත් ඌත් එන්නේ බයටනේ. බයට ගන්නේ ඌත් ඉතින් අල්ල ගන්නවා.
So if I understand correctly, sometimes these centipedes might come near to humans because they are threatened by other animals that want to eat them. So then they come near to you because they are running away from some other animals. So that is a kind of a little bit of a problem. So, but anyway, from these incidents, I got this understanding about how to like manage one's mind.
Oh, nothing even
So even when you don't have the hindrances and factors and you come into situations like that, then you might see if they are still there or not because they will come to the surface.
Dukula kaya Ilat kurule. So
there is another of the birds that has very frightening like screeches. So things like that are happening there.
කුටිය වටේ තමයි ඊට පස්සේ අපේ ඉන්නේ. උදේට කුටිය වටේ සුද්ධ කරන්න ගියාම හරි අමාරුයි.
කවුද රිලවුඩද?
ඔව්. රිලව්. කන්ද කැට කරලා බය.
So these there are these probably something like barn owls, like owls, like big ones, really big ones. So and they at night they fly at night and they hunt these macos, the naughty monkeys. But they are smaller than the ones we have here. But so then these monkeys, they know if they go near the kute, they might be protected. But if you have a bunch of like monkeys sleeping around your kute, so then the surrounding of the kute is full of their excrement and other things. So every morning it takes a lot of time cleaning.
Oh, tara again, Buddha tara.
And these monkeys, if they get angry, this is kind of. Sorry. So then Loko Hamdu was getting very angry because of because it's like no end. It's like cleaning is almost impossible. So then you mention things about the sensual desire, anger, restlessness, all these things are happening very strong.
උපක්ලේශ ඇවිල්ලා උපක්ලේශ වලට රැවටිලා ආරණ්‍යවට යනවා. මහා ඉතින් එන ධ්‍යාන කාර්යෝ කියනවා, භාවනා කාර්යෝ කියනවා, මාර්ගඵලලාභියෝ ඉතින් එක්කෙනෙක් නෙමෙයි ඉතින් දැන් ඉතින් ඔය හැබැයි ඉන්නේ පන්න බයි. ඉන්නේ ආරණ්‍ය වල
Oh,
බයි.
so
මාත් එහෙම භාවනා කියලා දුන්න එක්කෙනෙක් ඒකයි.
so because I am like meditation teacher, like I used to be like that. So they get these corruptions of meditations and thinking they have jhanas or path knowledges. Then they go to jungle saying, "Oh, we are the meditators. We are the strong meditators. We are the attainers." And then actually they spent a lot of time in fear staying there. So because I was in the same situation, I can tell and explain.
නැබැයි ඔය හොඳට දොරවල් වහගෙන බුදිය ගන්න තියෙන කුටි බයක් නැහැ. එහෙම කුටි තිබුණොත් හිටියට කමන්නේ. ඔය වලස්සු එමුන් ඇවිල්ලා එයා යන්නේ.
But of course, if you have kuti which is strongly built with strong doors where you can lock yourself up inside, it's not science issue.
ඒ වගේ දෙයක් නැහැ, බයක් නැහැ.
මට හිතුණා අර වලහේ ඇතුල් වෙන්න හිතනවා නම් ඒක කොහොම හරි ඇතුල් වෙනවා.
වලහද?
ඔව්.
වලහේ මේ කුසී වල කිරි අරනවා තිබුණොත් එනවාමයි.
Kutiයට එච්චර ආසාවක් නැහැ.
නෑ කුටියට නෑ කුසියට.
So Lokan says, no, I thought like how
අලියත් එහෙමයි.
I was thinking if an elephant or a bear comes, how can some door prevent him? But Lokam says kutis are usually safe because they are kind of far away. But he says both the elephants and bears, they like to come to kitchen or the area where you have like something like kitchen.
ඔව් ඉතින් මේ වලහ මේ කිරි වල සුවඳට එනවා. කිරි මුට්ටි.
Because in the kitchen you have this buffalo curd, you know, and it is in this kind of pots. So those, but whether you have full ones or empty ones, there is this smell of the curds around that, and these things are usually around the kitchen area. So that and also very often in the kitchens they keep like treacle and things like that there. So the bears are very much attracted by those smells.
පැණි වලට ඉවත් තියෙනවා. ඒකටත් තියෙනවා. ඒක දාලා මිනිස්සු දාන දෙන්න ඇවිල්ලා නිදි. මේ කුස්සියට වලා එක්ක ඇවිල්ලා. කිරි මුට්ටිය කාලා දීලා.
So one day people came and they were sleeping in the kitchen, but a bear came along, and but they were very lucky because the bear just took these buffalo curd spots and eat them up and then left. Ate them up. So then the people ran away. Then they came and told the monks about it.
මංගුව මොකටද ඉතින් කිරි ගෙනාවේ කියලා. ඉතින් ආනන්ද ඉතින් මේ කිරි ගෙනාව නම් ඒවලම දෙන්න කියලා දැන් ඕක ඉගෙන ගන්න කිව්වා මීට පස්සේ.
So Lokan told them, why did you bring the curds? And I said, because we wanted to offer them tomorrow. And he said, no, now you have learned your lesson. If you come to this place like this, if you bring curds, you have to offer them when you come, and don't try to keep them, because if you try to keep them, this is what happens.
Oh, කිරි ගෙනාවොත් මේ වලහා ටික වැටෙන්නේ නැති වෙන විදිහටම තියන්න ඕන කොහොම හරි.
Or you have to figure out some way how to put the curds in some way where the bears cannot reach them. Because the problems, they are kind of clever and they can like climb also. So
ගහකට උනන් නගිනවා.
You want to climb a tree.
දැන් මේ වගේ තැනක තියලා රාක්කයක් වගේ තියලා එහෙම තියන්න බෑ.
If you put them just on a shelf, that is not good enough.
ඉතින් ආරණ්‍ය වල එහෙම ඉතින් මොනවද තිබුණත් ඒක පෙරලා ගන්නවා.
So because these bears, if they come into monastery and there are things that they like so in this way, so they will topple everything and mess up everything, try to open everything and so.
ඉතින් හොඳට නීවරණය සංයෝජනය දකින්න පුළුවන් තැන.
So it is a place where you can very easily check all the defilements, all the hindrances and all the factors.
නීවරණයටපත් කරගෙන ඉන්න පුළුවන් ජීවිතය.
But you can go in places like that if you manage to suppress or weaken or reduce the hindrances before you go.
කොහොම හරි එහෙම ඉඳලා නැති කරගත්තොත් හරි වටිනවා. කොහොම හරි ඒ විදිහට ඉඳලා නැති කරගත්තොත් නීවරණේ හරි වටිනවා.
But anyway, if you manage to stay in such a way that you manage to remove the hindrances, it is good. It is very valuable.
දැන් මේ වගේ සාමාන්‍ය මේ වගේ තැන් තියෙනනේ භාවනා කරන නීවරණ එතකොට මේ එන්නේ ඒ වගේ නෙමෙයි ඊට වැඩි වෙනස් විදිහට නීවරණ වැඩ කරනවා. නීවරණ ඔය දැන් අපි උපක්ලේශ
places, the way the hindrances work and the corruptions of practice work is quite different to normal places or even a place like this.
ඔව්. ඉතින් දැන් මේවා හදාගෙන මොනවා හරි ධානයක් එහෙම අර කැලේට ගියට කමන්නේ ඉන්න පුළුවන්.
So if I understood correctly, if you already here manage to get jhana and then you go to the jungle to develop it, then no, there is no issue with that.
දැන් මේ වගේ තැන්වල ධාන ලබන්න බෑ කියලා කතාවක් නැහැ. ලබන්න පුළුවන්. මාර්ගඵල ලබන්න පුළුවන්.
So some people say it is impossible in places like this to get jhanas or path knowledge. It's not true, it is possible.
ඔව් ඒක ඉතින් අද කරන එක්කෙනාගේ මේ කරන යෝගියාගේ මහන්සිය යෝගියාගේ ඉතින් මේ නොවන සති සම්පජාන්‍ය අනුව තමයි.
It depends on the kind of understanding and sati and clear comprehension of the yogi.
ඔව් කිසි වැඩක් නැහැ. ඉතින් ආරණ්‍ය වගේ ලස්සනට තිබුණාට ඒවා කියා කරන දෙන වෙනා ඉන්න ඕනේ. ඒ හරියට කියා දෙන්න පුළුවන් අය ඉන්න ඕනේ.
So it's actually of no use whatsoever, even if you have very special forest hermitage or monastery, if there is nobody to teach the meditation properly. So if you want to get some usage even from place like that, you need to teach good teacher there.
මම ආරණ්‍යයේ ඉඳලා කලා මේ ආවා ඉතින් සමාජයට.
So I stayed at some point a lot of time in this forest set hermitages and jungle monasteries, and after quite a long time staying in those, I finally came back to the society.
මේ අරමුණු ගන්නේ මාරි අමාරුයි. ඉතින් අරමුණු ගන්න එක මේ මනසට එන්නේ මොකක් අමාරුයි.
So then it was difficult. It's something like apprehending the objects in the normal setup then was difficult.
ඒ අරමුණු ගැනීම අමාරු නිසා මේ දැන් පෙරකලට වචනත් අඩුයි.
Sometimes it can be combined with like we are used to talking most of the time, so you kind of get out of the habit of talking, so finding the words and expressing things might be also difficult.
ඒත් නිවන්න ක්‍රමානුකූලව හට ගන්න පටන් ගන්නවා.
So then the covered up hindrances, they start arising again.
ඒ නිසා බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ ආරණ්‍ය වටිනාකමක් කිව්වේ. ඒක ප්‍රාප්ත නිදාගෙන ඉන්නවනේ ඒකමන්නේ කියලා.
Because of that, the Buddha anyway praised these solitude settings like the forest monasteries and so on, and even up to the point of Kamses where he says, even if you just sleep there, it's still okay.
ඔය අලිකොටි වලසු ඉන්නව නෙමෙයි. සාමාන්‍ය ආරණ්‍ය. දැන් කියන්න බෑ බුදුහාමුදුරනේ කාලේ කොයිද බුදු වෙච්ච තැන බුද්ධ ගයාව ඒ පැත්තේ අලි කොටි වලට හිටියද දන්නේ මම දන්නේ කියන්නේ ඉතින් කොමන් නඳු කැලෑ ආලේ තියෙන ඒව මිසෙන්නක නැති ඒ වගේ හොඳයි.
So we don't know if there were like elephants and bears like that in the woods where the Bodhisattva attained enlightenment, but I think what Lokam was trying to say, that setup was not a thick jungle. It was a kind of like wooded kind of area, but not like a thick jungle, and it was not difficult to go to the arms in the village, and there was the river nearby, so it was a kind of good setting for the meditation. So in some monasteries they don't have water, so then you cannot, like bathing becomes a problem.
Kilometer දෙකමාරක් තිබුණා එනවා මේ උදේ පහන්දරෙන්දලා නාගන්න.
So if you want to take bath, you wake up early and you spend like 2-3 hours in the morning going and taking the bath and going.
ඉතින් නාගන තියනකොට උදේ දානවන්දරේ දවල් දානවන්දරේට කිට්ටු කරනවා යනකොට.
So they go probably after the alms round they go there or something. So you spend basically the whole morning, the time between breakfast and lunch you spend just going there and washing and going back.
දැන් ඔය මේ අර තියෙන්නේ ඒක අරගෙන රජයට මේ සුදුයට දැන් නාන්න උණු වතුර වලින් ටික දැන් අපි නාපුවා තමයි කැලේ පෙළදාසට අලි කුඹෝ අලි ඇවිල්ලා කොට දාලා වහලා අපි කොට ඇදලා දාලා ආකට ආය නානවා. දැන් ඒව දැන් වෙනේද කට්ටිය නාන්න බැඳලා උණු වතුර වලින් දැන් උඩ තියෙන ඒව දැන් බිස්නස් එකකට අරගෙන ඔය කොයිද මේ මදුනාගල පැත්තේ.
So this Madhunagala, there were actually hot springs there. So those days Lokohamudra and the monks used to go there, and like sometimes the elephants used to use the same spot. One time the elephants brought like a big log of wood and blocked it. So then the monks had to like dislodge and remove the log because if they wanted to use it and so on. So now it's made into this bath place where there is something like a zoo and other things there, and it was supposed to be like a tourist place.
දැන් ටූරිස්ට් ප්ලේස් එක මම ළඟදී ගියා. අනේ මට දුක හිතුණා මේ අපේ නිකන් නාපොයව දැන් නිකන් මේ එක
Lokams felt very sad or kind of sorry because this was just a kind of like natural hot spring there, and now it became this kind of river.
දැන් ගානක් ගෙවන්න ඕනේ කිට්ටු වෙන්නත් බෑ.
ඇත්තද? Lokam කවද්ද ගියේ?
දැන් කකුල කැඩෙන්න අවුරුද්දක් වගේ
No, so because like Lokohamudra was there about 1 or 2 years after me, and when I was there you could go there and it was kind of still free, but if you wanted to see the zoo part which was around you had to pay a little bit. But Lokohamudra went there about 2 or 3 years after I was there, and that time already they were charging you for it from just to enter it.
අලිකටේ කොට ඇටිලා ඒකම මලා.
And one time a baby elephant, like elephant calf, fell into this hot spring. Actually, there were few like areas where the water was. So one place is very hot. You cannot put your hand there because you will get really kind of like burned. So this baby elephant was playing there and fell into this place, and then was there like basically half-cooked elephant baby.
ඔක්කොම යනකොට විනාශ කරලා. ඔක්කොම විනාශ කරලා දානවා. ලියන් ටික.
Oh.
ඔක්කොම පත් වෙනවා මේ ඔකල
How that?
අලියෝ.
So when that happens, the other elephants they kind of got angry or something, and they just like heaped earth on top of it.
ඉතින් උපක්ලේශ ටික කොහෙද දන්නෙත් නැහැ. නීවරණ ටික කොහෙද දන්නෙත් නැහැ. සංයෝජන දන්නෙත් නැහැ. ඉතින් ඔය ගැන අහන්න එපායි. සංයෝජන නීවරණ ආතේනසන වලට ගියාම ඒ සංයෝජන නීවරණ උපක්ලේශ නම් ඉතින් පේන්නම නැහැ. නීවරණ සංයෝජන ටික නම් පේන තරහයි.
So if you go to the forest monasteries, you will you won't have to worry about the corruptions of meditations, because you will be probably swamped by all kind of hindrances and other defilements.
So
even I myself realized this that it was like not helping anything, and that's why I came back to the teaching. And when I came to teach, Venerable Sumatipa asked me, now, Venerable, has your samadhi developed now? So then I said, I don't even have the one I had when I was young. No, I can't say he didn't tell him, but it was the truth. So then I anyway started. It is like that.
කාලි ගොඩක් ඒවට යනවා අපරාධි.
So
එහෙනම් තේරුණාද?
you can like lose a lot of time just trying to manage those things. So anyway, many people are not protected by the triple dimension.
ඒ ආරණ්‍ය නම් දැන් හොඳට හදලා මේ ළඟදී පවුන්දාස්සක ගිය ආරණ්‍යයන් නේ පාන්දර වගේ නේද.
So these days, many of the places that Lokanda used to know as a genuine forest hermitage, that means like here and there a few kutis and more